So in the last 2 days, we have ranked some of Fortnite's best chests and some of Fortnite's worst chests, and so we might as well complete the trifecta and just rank every single chest. I will make a note here at the beginning, I will not be including the brand new Pirates of the Caribbean chest, the one that includes the ship in a bottle and the Flintlock. It's just too recent and too new for me to rank, but if I had to guess, it would be kind of towards the bottom of the list, let's be honest. But with all that being said, this video did take me a decent amount of time to make, so if you enjoyed it, be sure to leave me a like and use code TYFRYZ in the Fortnite item shop to support our community here on YouTube. Let's finally get into it. This should be a good one. At our number 25 spot on this list, the worst chest in Fortnite history, it is the Borderlands chest. And I'm going to go semi-quickly through these bottom 5, 6, 7 chests, as I just made a video yesterday about most of these chests. So you guys really know all my thoughts about them. But yeah, I mean, this chest is pretty bad. It's just a regular chest and then just add cash. Cash is the only thing that differentiates this chest from any other chest, and cash is useless. You can't use it on anything in the game. It is terrible, has literally no use in the entire game or even out of the game, and these chests could only be found in one part of the map, that is Pandora, so there's just no point in ever going to Pandora just for these chests. And at the number 24 spot is the shield chest, only found at the Quinjets in Chapter 2, Season 4. And this one's kind of simple, right? It's just not good loot, right? The majority of the time, you are getting green weapons and chug splashes, and that's it. And that's just not enough to put it any higher on this list. You also had to fight off like 4 or 5 Stark robots just to get this one chest that really most of the time was not giving you anything useful at all. So for that reason, it is at the bottom of the list here. At number 23, we have Sideways chests, and I could see this being a little bit controversial. But I mean, let's be honest here, the Sideways weapons were really not very good. Maybe the minigun in that legendary rarity. Other than that, I would not go hunting after Sideways weapons at all. They're just not really worth it, right? And so to risk your life, make all this noise fighting off the zombies, go to get these Sideways chests, which are only in those like big bubble zombie dome areas from Chapter 2 Season 8. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Just not worth it for me at all. I mean, if the whole caveat of the chest is that you get a weapon that is not very good, well, yeah, it's not going to be any higher on this list. At the number 22 spot, though, is the Cosmic chest. And there are just a whole multitude of problems with this chest, to be honest with you. One, I mean, the loot just sucks from it. I mean, you'll see in the video, there are 3 or 4 guys, and there's like 1 blue weapon each. I mean, that's it. You have to gather your whole squad together and pickaxe this chest in the open, where you are very prone to being shot, and sit there for like 15 to 20 seconds before you get this thing open, and yeah, you just get terrible loot. It's just not worth the time, effort, or even danger that you put yourself in to get the loot. You and your squad are much better just looting on your own and just opening 3 or 4 chests each. Also, this chest is not available in solos, so I mean, take with that what you will. At our number 21 spot is the train chest, and in my head when I was ranking this, I was talking about the main big final chest at the top of the train, not like the smaller chests. And that big chest takes so long to unlock, and anyone in the area or on the train can see, you get like that little indicator that the progress bar is going up, that somebody is on it capping the chest. So if you are putting yourself in that significant amount of danger, you better be rewarded for it, and unfortunately you are not here. Again, the percentage chance that you are getting a purple or gold weapon are just so low that it's almost not even worth going for this. If it didn't take so long, I would say, yeah, just go for it, take the 10 seconds, but this thing takes like 30 seconds to a minute to open. And yeah, leaving yourself super vulnerable in a position where people know where you are, right? They know that you're capping the chest is just a bad idea. At the number 20 spot is the regular chest. The first ever chest added into Fortnite, and probably the first thing you thought about when I said chest in this video. Look, you may think that it is a little bit low on this list. I mean, it's only 5 chests away from being the worst chest of all time, and I would understand that. But I mean, let's be honest, we have just seen better chests. Although these chests are kind of middle of the road, the one advantage they do have is that they are all over the map. Every single POI, all the unnamed locations, they all have this chest, so they are extremely accessible wherever you go. Whereas something like the Borderlands chest was limited to just one POI and was not good. But look, this is a chest that you're not going to complain about getting. I mean, that's how you get better loot in the game. It's just by opening more chests. It's just that there are so many better chests in the game. It's that simple. We have chests now that are guaranteeing you purple and legendary items. We have chests that are guaranteeing you mobility, guaranteeing you a weapon, mobility, and heals, as we will see coming up. So I honestly could not put the regular chest any higher, but I mean, it's not bad. Let's be honest. It's really just okay. At the number 19 spot, and I just hinted at it, it is the Imperial and Republic chest, the Star Wars collaboration chest. I put them together in one spot. And that's because they have nearly identical formats. They all give you one of either the Wookiee Bowcaster, the DC-15, or the E-11 blaster with some heals, and then most of the time shockwave grenades, but not all the time. The heals and mobility are awesome. I will always take those 9 out of 10 times. The problem is the mythic Star Wars weapons. I don't think they're that great. The Wookiee Bowcaster is okay. Like, I could see myself holding it in my inventory slot if I didn't have a sniper or something like that, but there are minimal situations when I would ever voluntarily take the E-11 blaster and the DC-15 blaster. And while most chests are RNG based, right, which means it's a total luck random number generator thing, this chest, you know what you're getting every time you open it. So with chests like these, you really are making a conscious decision to either go for it because you want those mythic items, which I don't know why you would, or just stay away from it because you know that you don't care about the mythic weapon at all, and that's the case for me here. At the number 18 spot is the Chrome chest from Chapter 3 Season 4. And while yes, I'm not the biggest fan of the Chrome weapons, this chest guarantees you 2 weapons, which is a good thing. And honestly, there are not many chests in Fortnite history that guarantee you more than 1 weapon out of it. So early game, having the ability to have, let's say, an SMG and a shotgun right off the bat is extremely useful. You know, we all know those times where you hot drop somewhere, get 1 chest, get a suppressed SMG, and you're out of bullets after you shoot 1 person. But that's not really the case with the Chrome chest, right? Because you have 2 weapons. The only problem is this chest basically becomes completely obsolete after the early game, in my opinion, as most of the time the weapons that you would get from this are green or blue rarity. Not the biggest fan of Chrome weapons, but I can acknowledge getting 2 weapons is very good. At the number 17 spot is the 7 chest from Chapter 3. And I'll be honest with you, this was kind of a hard one to rank just because it's like really mid, honestly. These chests were most often found at like the Sanctuary or the vaults in the 7 outposts, if you'll remember those. And I mean, they were okay. I think most of the time they dropped MKs, the Ranger AR, or Hunter bolt action snipers, which of course I love that sniper. It's a great sniper, but I don't know, if I remember correctly, the loot pool was only those 3 weapons that could drop out of this. I could totally be wrong, right? This was a long time ago, so cut me some slack. But I don't know, this chest isn't anything special, anything great, but it's definitely not terrible. The weapons that you can find in it are definitely solid. And at the number 16 spot are the Doom chests that were found in Doom's domain in Chapter 2 Season 4. And look, I'll be honest with you, I completely forgot these chests existed, but after doing more research and watching some gameplay, the loot that comes out of it seems to be kind of hit or miss. The good thing is you are guaranteed rare or higher weaponry, which is definitely a good thing. And when you put 3, 4, 5 of these in a vault, you're definitely going to come out with some extremely solid loot that you're going to want to carry with you for the rest of the game. The main reason why they're not any higher on this list is because, well, they could only be found at Doom's Domain's vault, so they're extremely limited, only a couple on the map, and I don't think the loot is exceptionally decent for how rare the chests are. At the number 15 spot are the lightsaber chests, or just those like blue lightsaber cubes. You know what I'm talking about. And this is a really interesting chest that kind of requires some context in play. And these chests were introduced in Chapter 2 Season 1, of course, with the introduction of lightsabers, and that's when lightsabers were extremely strong. I would even argue that lightsabers in Chapter 2 Season 1 were borderline broken, and so in Chapter 2 Season 1, these chests were a must find because they would drop a bunch of lightsabers. Now, lightsabers have kind of come down to earth, like they're okay. I mean, they're not anything crazy, but they're not terrible. But back then, these chests were incredibly good because of how good lightsabers were, so I kind of put this in the middle of the list, and for those reasons. And at my number 14 spot are the Mothership Vault chests. I put all of the rarities into one ranking, and yeah, this one needs some explaining. So if you guys remember Chapter 2 Season 7, when you would go inside the mothership, you would have the mini game, and then you would win your tier rarity of item. Of course, from common or gray to legendary or gold. And you would have a couple seconds to basically like infinitely loot that tier rarity of chest, if that makes sense. And I'll be honest with you, the common through blue are just basically generational stinkers. I mean, those would be at the bottom, almost probably the worst chests in the game. But the purple and legendary chests do start to pack a serious punch. The legendary one was kind of interesting because a lot of times you would get a Chimera ray gun, but sometimes you could come out with a gold scar, which of course is really good amongst other gold rarity weapons. And of course, I could say the same thing about the purple tier rarity. So since I had to balance them out, and since there are more worse mothership chests than there are good mothership chests, it falls towards the bottom 50% of this list. And at the number 13 13th spot are the ghost chests from Chapter 2, Season 2. And these chests could only be found at the ghost kind of hideout location, so I believe that was the agency, the shark, and the yacht. I could be wrong, but I feel like I remember it being those three specifically. And since it was the ghost chest, it was a lot of suppressed weapons, so suppressed scar, suppressed sniper, basically all the weapons that the ghost henchmen would carry on them. And yeah, look, I don't think this is a bad chest at all, I just think the shadow chest is better, it's that simple. And this honestly comes down to personal preference with these two. You could put the ghost ahead of the shadow, and I would totally understand. I just personally landed at more shadow locations, like the grotto for example, and I personally just like the loot pool in those chests better than the loot pool in the ghost chest. It's that simple. But anyways, at the number 11 spot is the Olympus chest, or as some people refer to it as the God chest. And they're okay, they're really not bad. I mean, they're right outside the top 10. I guess you could also consider the underworld chest here too. If you didn't know, they are technically two different types of chests from the ones that spawn at Brawler's Battleground or Mount Olympus. And these are chests from Chapter 5, Season 2, of course. And I think the big catch with these chests was either the ability to get Chains of Hades, which came out pretty often, or Wings of Icarus. And I'll be honest with you, I just thought both of these items were kind of mid, but this chest would often drop 2 purple, even 1 purple, 1 legendary items, so for that I absolutely can't complain about it. They also look cool, they have a sick design, so take with that what you will. And cracking the top 10 spot, and honestly some people may think that this should be higher, but it's going to be the Oathbound chest. And these chests were introduced in Chapter 4 Season 1 and had a very high chance of dropping either the Excalibur rifle or the coveted Shockwave hammer. And honestly, that is the sole reason why this chest gets so high on this list. A chest that almost, I'm not going to say guarantees you, but almost guarantees you one of, if not the best mobility item we have ever seen in the game's history, has to be at least in the top 10. You also got some pretty good consumables for this, but let's be honest, when you're opening this, they were hoping for one thing, and that is the hammer. The Excalibur rifle is also okay, but again, I will continue to emphasize the hammer is the main reason why you want these Oathbound chests and why I personally hunted them down. I would always know the exact location they would drop in faulty splits. I would land at that top roof every time just to get this Oathbound chest. And that's key because these Oathbound chests were 100% spawn rates. They always spawn in the exact same spot every single game, I think. Anyways, at the number 9 spot are the bunker chests from Chapter 2 Season 6, and would you look at that, Chapter 2 Season 6 is actually getting some praise. You guys know me, I normally am destroying this season, ripping it apart, but the bunker chests were a bright spot, I guess. And I could be totally wrong here, but I think bunker chests were the only way, or at least one of the few ways to actually get an RPG in Chapter 2 Season 6. These chests dropped 5 items, and you would get weapon, materials, ammo, an extra item, and then gold bars. But the key thing here that separates bunker chests from previous chests on this list is that they will only drop weapons of epic or legendary rarity and will not drop weapons of rarities that are lower than those. And I mean, just listen to the 4 possible weapons that can drop out of this thing: the pump shotgun, the scar, the P90, and the RPG. That is an elite category of weapons. Honestly, almost every single time that you're going to open a bunker chest, you are going to get something that you can take into the mid or late game with you, and for that reason, it deserves to be inside the top 10. And at the number 8 spot are the IO chests from Chapter 2 Season 7. And I'll be honest with you guys, these chests are up here for one reason and one reason only, and that is the railgun and recon scanner. These chests had an extremely high chance of dropping one of either the railgun or recon scanner, or even both. And look, I would argue with you that these two weapons, especially combined together, are one of the best pairing of weapons we have ever seen, and the railgun recon scanner meta is one of the best metas we have ever seen in terms of how strong it is. Look, any chest that is almost guaranteeing you the recon scanner especially has to be high up on this list. That thing is so incredibly valuable. And everybody who played Chapter 2 Season 7 knows how valuable that railgun was in taking down UFOs. So yeah, these chests are absolute must-haves in Chapter 2 Season 7 and definitely are really solid chests. And at the number 7 spot is the Stark Industries chest from Chapter 2 Season 4. And some of you may have expected it to be a little higher, maybe inside the top 5, but I think it just kind of falls right outside of that. Look, there is a reason why any of the pros who landed at Stark Industries all went for these chests right away. We all know the famous Mongrel clip where he's playing duos and he emotes, makes the guy next to him emote so that his boy can come swoop in and get the chest, get the pump shotgun and the Stark Industries rifle. And that right there is what made it really strong. The fact that almost always a Stark Industries rifle and a pump shotgun came out of this thing. I mean, when I was watching gameplay of this, the amount of times that I saw either a purple or blue pump shotgun and a Stark Industries rifle was probably like 70 or 80%. And I believe that actually you were guaranteed a purple or legendary item every time you opened these, and these were scattered all throughout Stark Industries, of course, one of the most popular locations ever. And let me tell you something, that vault in Stark Industries is absolutely loaded because it is filled with these types of chests. At the number 6 spot are rare chests introduced with Chapter 2. And the thing with rare chests is that they guarantee you an epic or legendary item. And you can see really the stark difference between chests like the Stark Industries rifle or the rare chest compared to, I don't know, like the cosmic chest or the chrome chest that were on the bottom half of this list. And honestly, the reason why the rare chest gets one spot higher than the Stark Industries chest is because of the fact that these chests could be found anywhere. You didn't have to go to a highly contested location and basically risk your life, honestly, to get one of these chests. They would just spawn randomly. You didn't have to go out of your way to get them. They were just there. And you're never going to complain about one of these chests. I mean, especially early game when you're going to loot and you get a purple RPG or a pump or a scar off drop, you're absolutely going to love that. They are really good chests, but just missed the top 5. And at that number 5 spot is the Cold-Blooded Coffer from Chapter 4 Season 2, I believe. And I believe these were part of the Heisted event. I could be wrong there, but these chests guaranteed an exotic weapon. It was a 100% guarantee that as soon as you open these, they would give you an exotic weapon, and that's really good because the majority of exotic weapons, especially the Heisted exotic weapons, are really good. And you're never going to complain about a guaranteed exotic. Now, the only problem with that is that these chests were extremely rare, and if I remember correctly, could only be found in those special vaults. But if you were able to get into one of those vaults, you had a guaranteed 2-3 exotics. I mean, think about it. You could get a chug cannon, a blank mag SMG, and a Heisted breacher shotgun, and you're good for the rest of the game. But at the number 4 spot on this list, and just beating out number 5, is the Scout Regiment Footlocker. And I just have 2 words to say about this, that is ODM gear. ODM gear is the only reason why this chest is so high on this list. It is one of the best mobility items of all time, similar to the Shockwave Hammer and the Oathbound chest. And I mean, let's be real here, who really cares about Thunder Spears? You are looking to get ODM gear out of this thing, and it dropped almost every single time. I mean, most of the gameplay, I would say 9 out of 10 times, you're getting ODM gear from this. And again, this is an example of these chests where you basically know what you're going to get from it, and this is a chest that you are going to hunt down. If you don't have ODM gear, you are going to go to all the spawns that you know of for this thing so that you can get the ODM gear. That is what makes a chest so strong, and it is absolutely deserving to be inside the top 5. And at the number 3 spot is the hollow chests. And quite frankly, I was debating on whether to actually consider these chests, but I mean, they literally have the word chest in the name, and on the Fortnite wiki, they are defined as a chest, so I'll count it. And of course, these are not just any chests that you can walk around the map and open. You had to have a key to open it, but with that being said, most, if not all, the loot was extremely good, purple or legendary rarity, minus the consumables like shieldfish or exotics. And the beauty of these chests is that you get to pick what you want. If you don't see anything you like in the selection at the current hollow chest that you're at, just wait and hold it until you find another hollow chest, and then you can buy whatever you want. If you have 3 hollow chests, I mean, you go to a selection and you get, let's say, a purple pump, a gold heavy sniper, and 3 shieldfish. I mean, think about it. You're not going to get that at any other chest. That is almost your whole loadout for the game. It just depends on getting a lucky enough hollow chest, to be honest with you, in regards to the item that's in it. But that wasn't really a problem most of the time, since the items were mostly pretty good. But at the number 2 spot on this list is the block chest. And let me just say something, let's bring back the block. The block was such an awesome location, and also this chest has a sick design, and I believe it was the first ever chest added other than the original one that launched with the game. And what makes this chest unique is that there is only one on the entire map. There's not like 30 like we're seeing with some of the other chests, or infinite. There is literally one chest, and it spawns at a different location for each unique block, and it gives a legendary item. Look, a guaranteed legendary item from a chest, that has to be high up on this list, and of course it is. And I don't really have much else to say on it. I mean, the RNG will take over from there, but the fact that you get a guaranteed legendary item means that you have a pretty good shot of getting a solid weapon. And let's be real here, this was back in Season 7 when rarities actually meant something, and legendary rarity actually meant legendary rarity. You couldn't just go to an upgrade station and in the snap of a finger upgrade from common to legendary. You had to find a legendary item across the map. So yeah, I think this chest is more than deserving to be up here, but not good enough to be at the number 1 spot. And let's be honest here, the number 1 spot is kind of obvious. It is the chest that you get from Buried Treasure, just the Buried Pirate Treasure chest. This chest has the possibility, and let this sink in, of giving you up to 4 legendary items. That is absolutely insane and just blows every other chest out of the water. I mean, it really does. I was just gassing up the block chest for dropping 1 legendary item. Well, you have the possibility of getting 4 here, and you have at least 1 guaranteed. The only problem is this is not just any chest that you can find around the map. You have to have kind of that prerequisite, which of course is the buried treasure map, and then you have to go however far the spawn is, whether you get lucky and it's close or you get basically screwed and it's halfway across the map. You have to go trek and find that and then dig it up and then open it, but you are fantastically rewarded. And for that reason, it is the best chest in Fortnite history. Alright guys, well, I hope you enjoyed that video. It took me a decent amount of time to make, so if you could, drop me a like, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let me know in the comment section below which video you would like to see next, and also let me know how you thought I did on this list. Are there any rankings that you would change? I mean, let me know. But with all that being said, guys, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.